Shedeur Sanders has been nominated for the OTA Hall of Fame. I don't know if you're aware of this, but RG3 has made the official announcement. He's watched the highlight clips of Shedeur Sanders in OTAs, and he said when you watch all the clips of Shedeur Sanders, you see why his tape said he was a first-round draft pick quarterback. He plays with NFL timing and rhythm, reads with his feet, plays ahead of the defense, has more than enough arm strength, and he knows how to layer the ball. We keep seeing updates virtually every day on Shedeur Sanders and what he's doing in OTAs, and it's all incredible. He's a first ballot OTA Hall of Famer. What is RG3 doing here other than kissing up to Deion?
Well, he's pandering, and again, he wants to go back to that all-important, all-inclusive cookout, but look, when I watch a boxer, you know, they all look good shadow boxing. They all look good on the heavy bag. They all look good on the mitts. You know when they don't look good all the time is when someone's hitting them back. And to his comment, looking at these clips, you know what didn't look like a first-round draft choice to most teams? His actual game tape at Colorado. I'm absolutely flabbergasted that a guy that played in the National Football League, who understands the position in theory, right, had various amounts of success, does not understand everything looks good against air. I mean, the reality is, Jason, in these situations, the ball should literally hit the ground maybe twice a practice at most. At most. So to be fair, it's not like they're excluding the incompletions. Situations like this, if you're a competent quarterback, to even just be a backup at this level, that ball will never be incompleted for the most part. So, again, we know what RG3 is doing. He's trying to get back into the good graces of the community.
Can you discern anything from OTAs? You can, I guess.
You actually can. Here's what you can discern. You can figure out really quickly who's not going to make it. You just still have no idea who is going to make it. That is all you can figure out for rookies during OTAs. If you get a group of guys who can't pick up the playbook, and particularly a quarterback, right? Can you figure out what this system is? Do you know where to go with the ball, depending on the coverage you have, depending on the fake blitz that we just sent? Can you get your hot reads out? Can you take charge? Can you get people lined up? And we've only given you this playbook a week ago with a whole bunch of guys who also have no idea what they're doing. Can you take charge and give yourself a chance? If you can do that, now we know you're not disqualified. If you can't do that, you just got to go home now. That's all OTAs are for.
Steve, I want to tap into your boxing insight with a football analogy. You know, I as it relates to Shedeur, and we won't find this out till he's actually playing in real games and they get into real practices. But there, to your point, there are athletes, and I wonder if this is true in boxing, that they don't really know the game. There are people that just have a talent for the game and they don't really know it. And that's where, and again, I know Deion will be offended by me suggesting this about Shedeur, but when I watch him hold the ball and run around, and to me, he never came off like a guy that really knew the game and just lacked self-awareness. Is that ever true in boxing where someone has all the talent, but they just don't know boxing, and it ends up showing up once they get in a fight?
Well, are there idiot savants in every sport and every field of life? Yeah. There's been some brilliant boxers who can't really explain what they do. They just do it. And then a lot of them become trainers, and it turns out they were not fundamentally sound in their own right, and they cannot actually teach the sport. And then you put a mic behind them thinking they're going to be the greatest color commentator of all time. And guess what? Either they're not good broadcasters or they simply can't explain the game. Now, the key for Shedeur, and I'm actually going to be very, very fascinated by this, and I'll admit it, I will make it a point to watch a lot, if not all, of the Browns' preseason games, because even in the preseason level, I would like to see how he operates a huddle, how he comes to the line, does he set protections, how does he read a defense, and can he do all the things that he didn't do in college? Number one, get the ball off in less than 2.5 seconds. To me, I know you're going to hate to hear this, or maybe you're glad, Shedeur Sanders is the most fascinating player of the NFL preseason. I will be glued to my set watching this. I'll be honest about it, and I think it's going to be fascinating discussions.
Let me ask you a follow-up then. So you're not bothered at all by the amount of attention Shedeur is getting. You think it's justified because he is that fascinating?
Yes, I think it's funny. I'm entertained by it. It doesn't really impact my life given the fact that there's other things going on. But we can't expect a guy that was the talk of the draft, even more so than the number one pick, who ended up going in the 5th round. There was so much focus on him, right? So then do we expect everyone just to shut off the spigot come OTAs? Like we're just going to forget about it? What are you talking about? The guy dominated draft coverage for the first 250 draft choices, right? And so even though Cam Ward is a guy I'll be following, I kind of know what Cam Ward is. He's going to be a very solid, reliable, responsible young man. But the volatility and the intrigue is in Shedeur Sanders because this thing has gone beyond sports, Jason. We have to be honest about it. There is a cultural aspect to that a lot of people believe, like a Don Staley, that their cause is more than just a career or a game. This is very, very cultural here now with that particular player.
Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, preseason game on at the exact same time. Who are you watching?
Well, come. Of course I'm watching the future Rookie of the Year and 3-time MVP, Cam Ward. That's not even a question. But thanks to modern technology, you can DVR it, and I will certainly watch that other guy after I watch Cam Ward's greatness later on in the night. That's my honest, blunt answer there.
This would be an interesting scenario for me. If Colorado, Deion, were playing at the same time as Shedeur and the Browns, what would I watch?
What if the Fever were on at the same time?
Oh,
What if Caitlin Clark was playing, though? What if she was on, though?
It's not even a
triple
question.
box?
That's
You
not
go
even.
triple box on that one? What's going on here?
Even if the Fever were on and Caitlin Clark were injured, there's a chance I would watch the Fever.
Jason, you got to get help.
Oh, my God. You are
I got some people who will see you.
But I would still watch Colorado over I'm not as interested in Shedeur. Because one, I think Shedeur, it's going to be a 3-year process before we find out the truth on Shedeur. I don't think we're going to learn anything. There's a lot of guys that come out like gangbusters as rookies and look good, and then it's year 2 or 3 before the truth comes out.
Why are we assuming Dylan Gabriel's not going to be the starter?
There's
going to be nothing to watch. Why would I want to watch him standing with his helmet next to the offensive coordinator?
To see if he holds the clipboard properly and does he engage with Dylan Gabriel?
That's good form.
Does he try to undermine? Does he keep the big gold chain on? Anyway, there's things to watch. Anyway, if you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.